introducing our student speaker, Daniel Haymaker.
Right. Yeah. 4 more years. No, let's not do that. Let me just get my notes together here. Yikes. It's a bit blurry. That's better. Okay, let's get into it. So, good evening, class of 2017. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, and thanks again for voting for me to give this speech. I really appreciate all the additional pressure that you put on me. You probably voted for me because you thought that I had really meaningful and important things to say, but gotcha, we'll see. First off, I want to thank all my teachers in the past 4 years, whether we knew it or not. They were giving us the tools to become functioning members of the society, and for that, I'm very grateful. I want to thank my family and friends for additionally teaching those skills and for unwavering support, of course. And Mr. Rosh Kolb, for without him, we wouldn't be the nurturing and inviting school that we are today. And lastly, I'd like to thank Bryn Chavez. Now, Bryn Chavez was supposed to be that's right. She was supposed to be my editing staff for this speech, but I gave her the first draft and she was like, you're fine. You're good. Okay, so with all this thinking, I feel like a PBS documentary, so I'm going to get into it. So, what's that? Yeah, all right. So, when I was asked to do the speech, I was obviously very excited. What a great honor, for all the people that you spent 4 years with to want to hear you say things on one of the last nights that we'll be together. But then that excitement was very short-lived when I realized that I actually had to say something to you people. And let's be honest, there's a lot of you out there that I've never talked to ever, which is really unfortunate. But what's interesting is that there's 1,300 of us in the entire school. I see someone new every day that I walk through the halls. And I don't know how, it's weird, but it's just the way it is, I guess. And then there's those of you who purposefully avoided me, it's okay. I'm a very loud person, so it's okay. But I had a panic attack because, I wasn't sure what I wanted to say. I didn't know what I wanted my tone to be. Do I say something funny? Do I say something motivational or heartfelt? Or do I just pick people out of the audience and roast them? I'm not going to do that. But, I was petrified because I knew that you all would remember this night. And so I asked around and I was like, what do I do? And people said, just be yourself. I said, be myself? That's a horrible idea. That's a terrible idea, because if you've ever had a class with me, you know that I talk really, really loud and really, really fast about things that only I really care about. But ultimately, I was afraid because I wanted to be remembered for this. And I knew that if I was lackluster or boring, then that would be my legacy. So this opportunity made me start thinking about the word legacy. What does that mean? The other day I was looking at my yearbook, and a lot of people signed it, mainly choir people, of course. But I noticed a common thread in each note that was written. They all talked about my involvement in music and how my musical career at Niwot was success at Niwot, so to speak, and how they'll always relish working with me in choir and theater. But what was most interesting to note was that they all said they'll remember how talented I was. And if this were a year ago, I would have been thrilled because, juniors and low self-esteem. But reading these comments after 4 years of being with some of my closest friends, 4 years after, all this time, reading those comments, it kind of bummed me out. Because I had 4 years to be a good person and to be a good friend and a good student, and believe me, I have failed those standards countless times. And because of this, I'm only remembered for a hobby, just a thing that I was good at. And no one said, hey man, thanks for sticking with me when times got tough, or, let's keep in touch. All I got was, you sounded great on that one thing, or whatever. And what do you say to that? When your closest friends think that is all you're worth, what do you do? And I want to just throw out a disclaimer. I'm not a tragic person, I'm generally happy. I'm not looking for a gothic novel about my problems or my failures. I simply want to take this opportunity to say that if I wasn't there for you, I'm sorry. Somewhere down the line I got caught up in my work and forgot about the people that got me there in the first place. And so now as we sit on the threshold of the end, I feel like I'm paying the price for it. So with this idea of legacy in mind, I set out to write on my quest to write something that you're all going to remember. I wanted to take control of what people will think of in 20 years when they think of my name. So at the end of this event tonight, I'll be performing a song called Summer Highland Falls by Billy Joel. It's a song about the highs and lows, the manic stages, and the twists and turns through life. And in my mind, it's the perfect song for a night like this, because all of us have experienced highs and lows of life. For me, of course, it was looking at the yearbook after this year was over, and who could forget Shrek the Musical 2 years ago? Yeah, you know it. That was a blast. But there were also highs, when some of my best friends took me at my worst and told me that they cared about me, or, on the often rare occasion where we would storm the football field after a game. Yes, that is a roast. You didn't think that was coming. Or that one Friday afternoon where on the intercom they played Love on Top by Beyonce, which is like my jam. But, when we look back, it somehow seems easier to remember the lows rather than the highs. And what I'm saying is that in my experience, after all these years, it seems like life will throw you things that make you forget what you have. It'll throw you things that'll, make you want to give up, or things that you're not ready for. You could be afraid of failure, afraid of your legacy, or if you're like me, you're afraid of women. It's hard not to feel like you've done everything wrong, like you've somehow failed. And I've got news for all of you. We are going to fail every single day. If you haven't figured out already in our 18 years or so of experience, we are going to fail at something, whether it be minuscule or something huge, every single day. And there's going to be plenty more lows than highs. You and I are going to feel like we're not enough. And that being said, and I don't want to sound like every motivational speaker ever, but you're still you. And that's really cliche to say, I know. There's so much pressure to be yourself in this world because it is the go-to cop-out of every piece of advice that anyone has ever tried to give. And right now, I am pleading guilty to giving that same piece of advice. There's literally almost 8 billion people in this world. 8 billion individuals. And the problem I think that a lot of people face is they try to be someone else to get by. So then where are we? We are a world of imposters. A world of fake news, so to speak. A world of sad people with no idea how to escape and confront the confines of our own personal delusions. And honestly, what a horrible way to live. If you're not being yourself, you are really doing the world a huge disservice. Why? Because the world needs you. You're the only person capable of being yourself. You have all of the right qualifications and the right experience. It is the only job you will never get fired from, where you can be your own boss, and yet it offers no pay or no health benefits. It is, you might say, the greatest freelance job of all time, with no need for a diploma. The salary, however, is a lifetime of honest relationships, honest accomplishments, honest love, and honest happiness. And truly, no one can turn down that type of compensation. Now, this is definitely easier said than done. What's the problem? The problem is that we feel like we have nothing to offer. We are insecure because we've all been kicked down far too much in life. It's hard to really grasp what the point of all of this is. Why bother, right? But look at where we are right now. We are at the end of a long journey through 12 years of public education. Every interaction, every bad grade, every good grade, every personal experience has led us to this moment. We have hit a milestone that many people don't even reach. So it would be heinous for us to say that we as people have nothing to offer the world. As I look around, I can tell that each and every one of you has something to give, and that can only be done if we stay true to what we have been called to do. And I can't tell you what that might be. I can't tell you what you're supposed to do with your life. A lot of people already know, and some of you probably don't. And if you don't, that's okay. Truly, you're going to wake up, and I promise you that you'll know. And life is mean. I'm not going to pretend like I have more experience than any of you, just because we're all the same age. But from what I've seen, life is a jerk. Life takes what you love and what you want, and it puts it far out of reach. Life will flood your house or crash your car, or it'll take someone away from you. And sometimes you're just like, why? You know, but what else is there left to do other than to try again with the knowledge that you've gained? Because when you think about it, there isn't much left to do in life other than keep trying. You get up, you find food, you go to school, you go to work, you find more food, see your friends, go to sleep, wake up, and do it all over again. So why would you put more on your plate with trying to be someone else? Listen, it's hard to be another person. I played a green ogre on this stage when I was 15. I hated it. I hated it. Like a lot. The easiest thing to do is to find who you are and just simply be it. And above all, be remembered for it. I am a musician, and that's what I've always strived to be remembered for. But the problem is that I have lost the human aspect, and that's something you need to have. Be remembered for being a nice, thoughtful, and caring version of yourself, and you can't lose in life. And if you slip up, which, believe me, we all will, I have countless times, you get up and you try again, just like everyone else. If you're like me, you're going to wake up tomorrow and think, what's next? Some of us think that every day. What's next? What's going to happen? And after Saturday, this same group of people will probably never be in the same place together again. And that might scare you. It certainly scares me. Some of you I've known for more than 11 years when I moved here in first grade. But I'll leave you with one final sentiment. Wake up tomorrow and remember this. Today, tomorrow, and the days after that, you are you. Same as you were the day before. And in the end, that's enough. Thank you for the memories, Niwot. Please don't let yourself down. Thank you.